The information provided in this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute professional legal, financial, or business advice. Marketing strategies and their effectiveness can vary significantly based on geographic location, local competition, and specific business models. While we discuss historical trends and case studies, these are not indicative of future results. Any action you take based on the information in this video is strictly at your own risk. We strongly recommend that you consult with a qualified business consultant or legal professional before implementing any major changes to your business operations or marketing budget. Conduct your own due diligence to ensure compliance with all local and federal regulations regarding automotive repair and advertising standards. The terrifying reality for the average independent auto repair shop owner in the United States today is that you are likely invisible to 80% of the customers in your own backyard. You might have the best ASE-certified technicians in the state, your shop might be cleaner than a surgical suite, and your diagnostic equipment might be state-of-the-art. But if your bay doors are closed more often than they are open, it is because you are losing the invisible war for digital real estate. There is a specific high-stakes story that plays out in every suburb from New Jersey to California. A driver hears a grinding sound in their front left wheel well while heading to work. They do not look for a business card in their glove box. They do not remember the billboard they saw 3 miles back. They pull over, pull out their smartphone, and type 3 words into a search engine. In that 10-second window, your business is either the solution to their problem or you simply do not exist. Historical trends show that the businesses appearing in the top 3 results of the local map pack capture nearly 70% of all clicks. If you are sitting at result number 4, you are essentially feeding your competitors. This video is the deep dive masterclass designed to stop that bleed. We are moving beyond the basic advice of just posting on social media once a week. We are going into the psychological triggers, the data-driven local SEO tactics, and the customer retention frameworks that turn a one-time oil change into a 20-year relationship. The US-based auto repair industry is currently navigating a massive paradigm shift. As of 2026, the average age of a vehicle on American roads has climbed to over 12.5 years. This presents a massive opportunity for independent shops because vehicles are staying out of the scrap yard longer than ever before. However, the complexity of these vehicles has increased exponentially. We are no longer just dealing with mechanical failures. We are dealing with software updates, advanced driver assistance systems, and complex electrical grids. This means your marketing can no longer just say we fix cars. That is a commodity. Commodities are traded on price, and if you compete on price, you are in a race to the bottom that you do not want to win. This masterclass solves the fundamental problem of customer acquisition cost and the trust deficit. In the United States, the auto repair industry consistently ranks as one of the least trusted sectors by consumers. Your marketing today is not about selling a brake job or a timing belt. It is about selling the elimination of anxiety. We are going to show you how to build a marketing machine that positions you as the only logical choice in your zip code, effectively making the shop down the street irrelevant. To understand why your current marketing might be failing, we have to look at the psychology of the modern American consumer. When someone needs a mechanic, they are usually in a state of high stress. They are worried about the cost, they are worried about being taken advantage of, and they are worried about how they will get to work tomorrow. Most shop owners make the mistake of marketing to the logical brain. They list their services: oil changes, transmissions, tires. But the customer is operating from the emotional brain. They are looking for signals of authority and empathy. Historical trends in consumer behavior suggest that users spend less than 5 seconds evaluating a website before deciding whether to stay or leave. If your website looks like it was designed in 2010, you are telling the customer that your diagnostic tools are likely from 2010 as well. This is a catastrophic failure of brand alignment. We will be breaking down how to align your physical excellence with your digital presence, so that the moment a customer lands on your page, their heart rate slows down because they know they have found a professional. Furthermore, we have to address the massive shift in how local search works. In the past, you could buy your way to the top of the yellow pages by having a name that started with the letter A. Today, the algorithm is far more sophisticated. It looks at proximity, prominence, and relevance. But there is a hidden fourth factor that most shop owners ignore: behavioral signals. Google is watching how people interact with your business listing. Do they click the call button? Do they ask for directions? Do they leave reviews that mention specific services? We are going to go through a step-by-step detail on how to optimize your digital footprint to trigger these signals. We will examine case studies of shops that went from 2 stars to nearly 5 stars not by begging for reviews, but by implementing a systematic feedback loop that captures the customer's voice at the exact moment of peak satisfaction. The potential outcomes for your business when you master these 5 secrets are not just about more cars in the bays. It is about the quality of those cars. Marketing is a filter. If you market for cheap oil changes, you will get customers who only want cheap oil changes and will leave you the moment they find someone 50 cents cheaper. If you market for high-value diagnostic work and long-term vehicle health, you attract the customers who value their time and safety over a few dollars. These are the customers who say yes to your recommendations, who follow their maintenance schedules, and who become your biggest advocates. This script is your roadmap to transitioning from a shop that survives on walk-ins to a business that thrives on a predictable, scalable stream of high-value appointments. We are also going to tackle the often misunderstood world of paid advertising. Many shop owners have been burned by agencies that took thousands of dollars and delivered nothing but low-quality leads. We are going to look at the historical data of what actually works in the automotive space. We will discuss why a 5-mile radius is the most important boundary for your business, and how geofencing can allow you to put your ads directly in front of people who are currently sitting in the waiting room of your competitors. This isn't about being aggressive. It is about being present where the demand already exists. We will explore the step-by-step process of setting up a Google Local Services ad, which is different from a standard search ad and offers a much higher conversion rate for service-based businesses. By the end of this deep dive, you will have a comprehensive understanding of the entire marketing ecosystem for an auto repair shop in the US, from the first search query to the follow-up thank you text that secures the next appointment. This is part 1 of a 10-part masterclass series designed to rebuild your business from the outside in. We are starting with the foundation of visibility and trust because without those, everything else is just noise. Prepare to take notes because we are going into the granular details that the big franchises use to squeeze out the little guy, and we are going to show you how to use those same tools to take your market share back. To understand the first secret of the 5, we have to look at the massive data shift in local search algorithms that has occurred leading into 2026. Secret number 1 is the dominance of the local map pack hyperoptimization. For an auto repair shop in a city like Charlotte, North Carolina, or Phoenix, Arizona, the physical distance between your shop and the customer is no longer the only thing that determines if you show up on their screen. In the past, Google primarily looked at the proximity of the business to the user. Today, historical trends indicate that relevance and prominence have taken a backseat to something called specific service intent. This means if a driver named Marcus is sitting in his driveway in suburban Ohio, and his check engine light just blinked on, he isn't just searching for a mechanic. He is searching for a solution to a specific terrifying light on his dashboard. If your Google business profile is optimized for the broad-term auto repair, but lacks deep dive content for check engine light diagnostics or European car repair, you will likely lose that lead to a competitor 3 miles further away who has specified those services. Imagine if Marcus types in check engine light diagnostic near me, and your competitor has a profile filled with high-resolution photos of their diagnostic scanners, specific service posts about common sensor failures in modern SUVs, and customer reviews that specifically mention how quickly the shop identified a vacuum leak. That competitor is providing the algorithm with a massive amount of relevance data. To compete, you must move beyond the basic setup. Step 1 in this masterclass for your digital storefront is the audit of service attributes. You need to log into your business profile and look at the hundreds of new attributes available in 2026. Are you marking yourself as a female-led business? Are you identifying as veteran-owned? Are you specifying that you offer contactless drop-off or loaner vehicles? These microdata points are what the search engine uses to filter results for specific user preferences. Let us look at a case study from a mid-sized independent shop in Austin, Texas. This shop was struggling with a low volume of new customer acquisitions despite having a loyal base of older clients. Their primary issue was that their online presence was generic. In early 2025, they began a process of aggressive local optimization. Instead of just having a services list, they created a weekly cadence of posting what they called the Bay of the Week. They would take a photo of a complex repair, such as a hybrid battery cooling system replacement, and write a 3-sentence explanation of the symptoms the customer felt and how they solved it. Within 6 months, their appearances in the local map pack for specialized keywords like hybrid repair Austin increased by over 400%. The potential outcomes of this strategy are clear. You stop fighting for the low-margin oil change crowd and start attracting the high-ticket technical repairs that actually grow your bottom line. The second part of this first secret involves the math of reviews. In 2026, the total number of reviews is less important than the velocity and the keywords contained within them. If you have 500 reviews but they are all from 3 years ago, the algorithm views your business as potentially stagnant or even closed. You need a constant stream of fresh data. A step-by-step detail for implementing this is the two-touch feedback loop. When a customer like Sarah picks up her vehicle after a brake job, she receives a text message as she is walking to her car. This isn't just a link to a review site. It is a personalized message asking for her feedback on the specific technician who worked on her car. By naming the technician, you humanize the transaction. When Sarah leaves a review saying that Mike did a great job on her brake pads, the search engine now associates your shop with the keyword brake pads with higher authority. This is how you build a wall of digital social proof that makes it impossible for a customer to choose anyone else. However, many shop owners fear the negative review. In this deep dive, we have to address the reality that you cannot satisfy everyone. Historical trends show that a perfect 5-star rating can actually be a red flag for savvy American consumers. They look for the 4.7 or 4.8 because it feels real. The secret here is not the avoidance of the negative review, but the speed and professionalism of the response. When you respond to a 1-star review within 2 hours, you aren't just talking to the angry customer. You are performing for every future customer who reads that thread. You are showing that you are accountable and that you stand behind your work. This level of transparency is a massive marketing asset in a country where trust in the automotive industry is at an all-time low. Now, we must consider the rise of video in local search. By 2026, Google has integrated short-form video directly into the search results for local businesses. This is the hidden weapon of the modern shop owner. Imagine a potential customer scrolling through the map pack and seeing a 30-second clip of your shop foreman explaining why a certain sound in a Ford F-150 is actually a simple fix rather than a transmission failure. You have just built more trust in 30 seconds than a billboard could build in a year. The step-by-step detail for this is simple. Buy a mid-range smartphone stabilizer, spend 10 minutes a day filming a quick tip or a behind-the-scenes look at a repair, and upload it directly to your business profile updates. This is not about high production value. It is about authenticity. The US consumer in 2026 is exhausted by polished corporate advertising. They want to see the grease on the hands of the person they are trusting with their family's safety. But even with a perfect map pack presence, there is a technical hurdle that most shops fail to clear. This brings us to the importance of mobile site speed and the click-to-call architecture. If your website takes more than 3 seconds to load on a 5G network, you are losing 40% of your potential traffic. Historical trends in mobile usage show that for auto repair, 90% of searches happen on a mobile device while the user is either in their car or at work. Your website should not be a digital brochure. It should be a conversion engine. This means the call button must be sticky at the bottom of the screen, the appointment scheduler must be integrated with your shop management software, and the pricing for common services should be transparent or at least easy to request. The data shows that shops which offer online booking see a 25% increase in after-hours appointments. Think about that. You are making money while you are sleeping because your marketing machine is working 24 hours a day. We have seen case studies where shops in high-competition areas like Los Angeles or Chicago have doubled their car count simply by making it easier for the customer to say yes without having to pick up the phone during business hours. In 2026, the friction of a phone call is a barrier to entry for the younger generation of car owners. If you require a phone call for a simple quote, you are effectively telling Gen Z and millennial drivers to go elsewhere. This first secret, the optimization of your local digital footprint, is the base of the pyramid. Without it, the other 4 secrets will not have the foundation they need to truly explode your revenue. But what happens once they click? What happens when they arrive at your shop and they are still skeptical? How do you turn a suspicious first-time caller into a lifelong advocate who brings you their spouse's car, their kid's car, and their neighbor's car? That is where the psychology of the physical environment and the internal marketing of the shop come into play. As we move into the next section, we are going to peel back the curtain on how the most successful shops in the country use sensory marketing and high-level communication frameworks to increase their average repair order without ever being pushy or sleazy. The next secret involves a technique used by the highest-grossing medical practices in the world, adapted specifically for the grease and steel of the auto repair industry. Prepare to change the way you look at your waiting room and your service counter forever. The transition from the digital world of Google Maps to the physical world of your service bay is where 80% of marketing budgets are actually wasted. Secret number 2 is the clinical authority framework, a strategy adapted from elite medical environments that transforms your shop into a trusted institution. To understand the power of this, imagine a high-value customer named Jennifer, who has just found your shop through the hyper-optimized map pack we discussed in the previous section. Jennifer is a 34-year-old project manager in 2026, and she is driving a high-performance SUV with more computing power than a mid-range laptop. When she pulls into your lot, her subconscious mind is already doing a high-speed audit. If her first sensory input is the smell of old gear oil and the sight of a faded, grease-stained carpet in the lobby, her brain registers a high-risk environment. Historical trends in retail neuroscience show that when a customer's environment feels disorganized or unclean, they immediately begin to haggle on price because their brain has categorized the service as a low-value commodity. To combat this, you must implement a sensory audit. This is a step-by-step detail that begins with the scent of your facility. Modern case studies of successful independent shops in high-income areas like Denver or Scottsdale show that shifting from a smell of industrial chemicals to a neutral or slightly citrus-scented environment can increase the customer's willingness to invest in preventative maintenance by up to 20%. This isn't about hiding the fact that you work on cars. It is about signaling that you have control over your environment. The lighting in your front office should be 5000 Kelvin, daylight balanced, not the flickering yellow-tinged tubes found in hardware stores. This creates an atmosphere of clarity and transparency. In the world of 2026, Jennifer isn't just looking for a repair. She is looking for a professional experience that matches the technology in her vehicle. The next level of this physical marketing is the deskless reception. Historical trends show that the massive, high-top counter acts as a psychological barrier between the customer and the service advisor. It creates a me versus you dynamic that triggers the customer's defense mechanisms. The most successful shops are moving toward a consultant model where the service advisor comes out from behind the counter with a tablet, sits next to the customer on a clean, modern sofa, or stands with them to view a digital display. This shift in body language is a marketing masterstroke. It positions your staff as allies in the customer's journey, rather than gatekeepers of their car's fate. Imagine the potential outcomes when Jennifer is greeted not by a shout from a back room, but by a professional who walks to her car, opens the door for her, and invites her into a space that feels more like a tech lounge than a garage. You are marketing your expertise before a single bolt has been turned. However, the physical environment is only the stage. The real performance is the digital vehicle inspection or DVI. This is the single most important marketing asset inside your four walls in 2026. A DVI is not just a digital version of a paper checklist. It is a multimedia educational tool. When your technician finds a leaking strut, they do not just write it down. They take a high-definition photo and a 10-second video showing the fluid leak and the lack of dampening. This report is sent directly to Jennifer's phone via a secure link. This is where the marketing magic happens. By the time Jennifer talks to your service advisor about the price, she has already seen the proof. Historical trends show that shops using comprehensive DVIs with clear photos and videos see an average increase in repair order value of 30 to 40%. This happens because you have eliminated the trust gap. You are no longer asking her to believe your words. You are inviting her to see the evidence. To execute this at a deep dive level, your DVI reports must follow the green, yellow, red triage system. Green represents systems that are in great shape, which is a crucial marketing step. Most shops only show what is wrong. By showing Jennifer what is right, you build credibility. You are telling her that you aren't just looking for problems to charge her for. You are genuinely monitoring the health of her vehicle. Yellow items are upcoming maintenance needs that do not require immediate action but should be watched. This creates a marketing loop for the future. Red items are safety issues that need immediate attention. This step-by-step detail allows Jennifer to feel in control of the decision-making process. In 2026, the American consumer demands autonomy. When you give them the data through a professional DVI, you are marketing your shop as a transparent high-tech partner. We must also look at the case study of David, a shop owner in a competitive suburb of Denver. David's shop was stagnant for years until he invested in a shop-wide environment overhaul. He replaced his old, metal waiting chairs with ergonomic furniture, installed a dedicated co-working station with high-speed fiber internet for customers like Jennifer who need to work while they wait, and implemented a mandatory DVI process. Within 12 months, David's shop saw a 50% increase in 5-star reviews, but more importantly, his customer retention rate jumped from 40% to nearly 80%. The marketing secret here is that David stopped trying to sell parts and started selling a seamless professional experience. He understood that in 2026, the customer's time is more valuable than their money. By providing a workspace and clear digital communication, he marketed his shop as the most convenient and trustworthy option in his zip code. The final layer of this internal marketing secret is the follow-up. Most shops finish the repair, take the money, and never speak to the customer again until they have another problem. This is a massive missed opportunity. The step-by-step detail for a 2026 follow-up involves an automated but personalized message 48 hours after the vehicle leaves the shop. This message should not ask for a review yet. It should simply ask how the car is performing, and if the customer has any questions about the work performed. This reinforces the clinical authority framework. It says that your care for the vehicle extends beyond the transaction. Historical trends show that this single touchpoint reduces the likelihood of a comeback or a complaint by 60% because it opens a line of communication before a small concern becomes a big frustration. As we consider the potential outcomes of turning your shop into a clinical high-tech environment, you have to realize that you are also marketing to your future employees. In 2026, the labor shortage for skilled technicians is at an all-time high. A clean, organized, and technologically advanced shop is a magnet for top-tier talent. When you market your shop's environment to customers, you are simultaneously marketing your shop as a premier workplace. Your technicians will take more pride in their work when they are in a facility that looks like a laboratory rather than a warehouse. This pride reflects in the quality of the DVI photos they take and the way they speak to the service advisors, which in turn reflects back to the customer. It is a virtuous cycle of professional authority. But even with a perfect shop and a perfect inspection report, there is a looming threat to your growth. There is a specific digital trap that even the best shops fall into, and it involves the way you handle your lead generation and your customer database. If you are still relying on traditional mailers or generic email blasts, you are throwing money into a black hole. The next secret we are going to dive into involves the invisible community influence and how to weaponize your existing customer data to create a local monopoly. We are going to talk about the death of traditional advertising and the birth of hyperlocal predictive marketing. You will learn how to know a customer needs a battery before they even see a struggle in the crank. If you thought the physical environment was a game changer, wait until you see how we use data to own the neighborhood. The secret to owning your neighborhood in 2026 is moving away from the expensive, shotgun blast approach of traditional advertising and moving toward what we call the invisible community influence. This is secret number 3, and it is built entirely on the goldmine you are likely sitting on right now, your customer database. Most independent shop owners in the United States view their shop management software as a digital filing cabinet. They use it to write invoices and track parts, but they rarely use it as a predictive marketing engine. Historical trends in the automotive sector show that it costs 6 to 7 times more to acquire a new customer than it does to retain an existing one. Yet, the average shop spends 90% of its marketing budget trying to attract strangers. By weaponizing your data, you stop chasing and start attracting. Imagine a customer named Brian who lives in a bustling suburb of Atlanta, Georgia. Brian drives a 2018 heavy-duty pickup truck that he uses for his contracting business. In 2025, Brian came into your shop for a simple brake service. During that visit, your technician performed a comprehensive digital vehicle inspection and noted that while his battery was currently passing, it was 4 years old and showing signs of high internal resistance. In the old world of marketing, that note would sit in a digital folder until Brian's truck failed to start on a Tuesday morning in the middle of a job site. In the 2026 marketing world, your database acts as a proactive assistant. As the first cold snap of the winter hits Atlanta, your system identifies Brian as a high-risk candidate for a battery failure. It automatically sends him a personalized text message. Brian, we noticed your battery was reaching the end of its life cycle during your last visit. With the temperatures dropping this week, we want to make sure you do not get stranded. We have a heavy-duty unit in stock for your truck. Would you like to drop by for a 5-minute swap before the weekend? This is not a generic advertisement. It is a high-value service intervention. The potential outcomes of this predictive approach are a near-total elimination of the slow season. By analyzing the historical data of your customers' driving habits, averaging 14,000 miles a year in the U.S., You can predict with startling accuracy when their vehicles will need specific maintenance. The step-by-step detail for implementing this starts with the database hygiene audit. You must ensure that every single repair order includes a valid mobile phone number and an email address. Without this, your marketing engine is stalled. You then categorize your customers into tiers based on their lifetime value. Your top 20%, the customers who say yes to every recommendation and refer their friends, should receive a different level of communication than the one-time oil change hunters. Case studies from high-performing shops in the Pacific Northwest have shown that implementing a simple 3-step database reactivation campaign can generate more revenue in 30 days than a $5,000 direct mail campaign. Step 1 is the soft reconnect. A message sent to anyone who has not been in the shop for 6 months, simply checking in on the vehicle's performance. Step 2 is the data-driven recommendation. A message sent at 9 months based on their last inspection's yellow items. Step 3 is the lost customer recovery. A message sent at 12 months offering a high-value incentive to return for a safety check. This systematic approach ensures that your shop stays at the top of the customer's mind without you having to spend a single cent on platform fees or third-party lead generators. Beyond your own database, the invisible community influence relies on owning the digital conversation in hyperlocal spaces like Nextdoor and local Facebook community groups. In 2026, the American consumer relies heavily on peer recommendations. However, you cannot simply join these groups and post ads. You will be banned or ignored. The secret is the community hero strategy. You identify the most active members of these groups, the local influencers who are always helping others, and you offer them a specialized, no-cost safety inspection service for their vehicles. When they inevitably have a positive experience in your clinical, high-tech environment, they will naturally mention your shop when someone asks the weekly question: does anyone know a mechanic I can trust? Historical trends show that a single recommendation from a trusted community member is worth 10 times more than a sponsored ad. Furthermore, we must discuss the power of hyperlocal geofencing. In 2026, you can place a digital fence around specific locations, such as the local high school during a football game or a popular shopping mall. When someone within that fence opens a social media app, they see a brief, helpful video from your shop. For example, if you are located in a region that experiences heavy rain, like Seattle, you might run a geofenced ad around a large grocery store parking lot showing a technician demonstrating how to check windshield wiper wear. You are providing value in the exact moment the customer is likely experiencing the problem. This is a step-by-step detail in psychological positioning. You are moving from being a solicitor to being a local expert. We also have to address the evolution of the loyalty program. The old punch card system is dead. In 2026, loyalty is built through transparency and exclusive access. Successful U.S. shops are implementing membership models, similar to what you see in the car wash or gym industries. For a small monthly fee, customers get a certain number of oil changes, unlimited fluid top-offs, and a discount on labor. This is a marketing masterclass in recurring revenue and customer lock-in. Once a customer like Brian is paying a monthly subscription to your shop, he is never going to a competitor. He has a vested interest in your success, and you have a predictable cash flow. The potential outcomes of a membership model include a more stable valuation for your business and a significant increase in the average repair order, as members are more likely to approve necessary repairs when the basic maintenance is already covered. Another critical component of owning your neighborhood is the concept of dark social. This refers to the private sharing of content through text messages and DVI reports. When you send a high-quality video of a worn-out suspension component to a customer, they don't just look at it. They show it to their spouse, their father, or their car-savvy friend. Your marketing is now happening in private living rooms across the city. To encourage this, you must make your digital assets highly shareable. This means using clear, non-technical language and high-definition visuals. You want the person on the other end of that shared link to say, "Wow, my mechanic never shows me stuff like this." That is the moment you have won a new customer without ever talking to them. As we look at the data-driven future of 2026, it is clear that the shops that thrive will be those that act as data scientists as much as they act as technicians. You are building an invisible web of influence that catches customers before they even realize they have a need. But all the data in the world won't save you if you can't break through the noise of the internet. There is one specific type of content that is currently dominating the attention of the American public, and it is the one thing most shop owners are too afraid to do. It is the secret of the authority engine, and it involves a specific way of using video that goes far beyond simple tips and tricks. In the next section, we are going to show you how to become the most famous mechanic in your city, even if you hate being on camera. We are going to break down the exact script for a video that can go viral in your local area and keep your phones ringing for months. Prepare to step into the spotlight, because the era of the quiet, hidden shop owner is officially over. The fourth secret, the authority engine, is the most powerful tool for market dominance in 2026 because it addresses the single biggest commodity in the modern economy: attention. In a world where every driver is bombarded by thousands of digital ads daily, the independent shop that wins is the one that stops being a service provider and starts being a media entity. Historical trends in the U.S. automotive market show that shops that produce consistent, educational video content have a 30% higher retention rate than those that rely on traditional static advertising. This is because video bypasses the logical skepticism of the consumer and builds a parasocial relationship. When a customer sees your face and hears your voice explaining a complex technical issue before they ever step foot in your shop, you are no longer a stranger. You are a trusted advisor. To implement the authority engine, we have to look at the specific case study of Jackson, a shop owner in Nashville, Tennessee. In early 2025, Jackson's shop was struggling to compete with a massive dealership group that had just opened a satellite service center 2 blocks away. The dealership had a multi-million-dollar marketing budget. Jackson had a smartphone and 10 years of experience. He started a series called Nashville Car Care Truths. He didn't film polished commercials. Instead, he stood in front of a 2022 SUV with a disassembled engine and explained exactly why the manufacturer's recommended oil change interval of 10,000 miles was leading to premature timing chain failure in high-heat environments like Tennessee. He showed the sludge. He showed the worn components. He spoke directly to the camera as if he were talking to a friend. The potential outcomes for Jackson were staggering. One of his videos, titled 3 Things Your Dealer Won't Tell You About Your Transmission, went local viral. It wasn't watched by millions of people in Europe or Asia. It was watched by 15,000 people within a 20-mile radius of his shop. For a local business, 15,000 targeted views is more valuable than a Super Bowl ad. This is because of the 2026 algorithms focus on hyperlocal relevance. Search engines now prioritize video content that originates from and is consumed by a specific geographic cluster. Jackson's phone started ringing not with people asking for the cheapest oil change, but with people saying, "I saw your video about the timing chain, can you look at my car?" He effectively used the authority engine to bypass the dealership's massive budget by being the most transparent person in the room. The step-by-step detail for creating your own authority engine begins with the truth teller framework. You do not need to be an actor, and you do not need a film crew. In 2026, the American consumer has a high level of fatigue toward overproduced content. They want the raw, unedited truth. Your first video should address the most common question you get asked at the counter. If you are constantly explaining why a brake pulsation happens, film a 60-second vertical video showing a warped rotor on a brake lathe. Use this simple 3-part script structure. Part 1 is the pattern interrupt. Start with a statement that challenges common knowledge, such as, "Stop wasting money on premium gas for your mid-sized sedan unless you see this one thing." Part 2 is the educational meat. Show the components. Explain the physics. Use clear, non-technical language that a school teacher or a retail worker can understand. Part 3 is the localized call to action. Do not ask them to like and subscribe. Ask them to click the link in your bio to see the 3 specific signs their vehicle might be at risk. Imagine if you are a shop owner in a rainy climate like Portland, Oregon. You could create a series of videos specifically about the impact of standing water on modern electronic steering racks. Historical trends indicate that vehicle electronics are the #1 source of consumer frustration in 2026. By positioning yourself as the expert who understands the intersection of local weather and vehicle technology, you create a niche that a national franchise cannot touch. You are marketing your local specialized knowledge. This is a deep dive tactic that requires you to look at your shop as a laboratory of content. Every car that comes in with an interesting or common problem is a potential 3-minute masterclass for your community. We must also discuss the technical side of the authority engine. In 2026, the integration between YouTube and Google search is seamless. When someone in your city searches for "Why is my car making a clicking sound when I turn?" a video of you demonstrating a failed CV axle at your shop can appear at the very top of the search results, even above the paid ads. This is called the video featured snippet. To capture this, your video titles must be phrased as the exact questions your customers ask. You need to use high-quality audio because while people will tolerate mediocre video, they will immediately click away from poor audio. A $50 lapel microphone is the single best marketing investment you can make this year. Another critical component of this secret is the comment section strategy. In the US, the comment section of a local business video is a high-stakes customer service environment. When people ask questions on your videos, you must respond with depth and speed. This isn't just about being polite, it is about signal boosting. Every interaction tells the algorithm that your content is valuable to the community. Case studies have shown that shop owners who engage in the comments of their educational videos see a 40% increase in booking conversions compared to those who just post and disappear. You are building a community around your expertise. This is the invisible influence we talked about in the previous section, but now it has a face and a voice. Furthermore, you should be leveraging the 2026 trend of collaborative authority. Reach out to other local businesses that serve the same high-value demographic, such as a high-end detailing shop or a local classic car club. Create content together. When you appear in a video with the owner of the most respected detailing shop in town, you are inheriting their trust and authority. This cross-pollination of audiences is a fast track to owning the local digital landscape. You are creating a network of professionals that the consumer perceives as the gold standard for car care in your city. The authority engine also serves as a powerful recruitment tool. In the competitive 2026 labor market, the best technicians want to work for the best shops. When they see videos of your team using high-end diagnostic equipment and following clean professional processes, they see a shop where they can grow their own careers. Your marketing to customers is simultaneously your marketing to future employees. This reduces your long-term costs of turnover and ensures that the quality of work remains high enough to support the premium pricing that an authority-based business can command. As you build this engine, you will notice a shift in the type of customers you attract. You will move away from the price shoppers and toward the value shoppers. These are people who have watched 3 of your videos and have already decided they are going to use your shop before they even know your hourly rate. They aren't buying a repair. They are buying the peace of mind that comes from the expert they saw online. But there is one final piece to this puzzle. Once you have the attention and once you have the authority, how do you maximize the lifetime value of every single vehicle that enters your bay? There is a secret to the high-ticket value multiplier that most shops ignore, often leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table every month. It involves a specific way of structuring your service packages that makes the expensive repairs feel like a logical investment rather than a financial burden. In the next part, we are going to dive into the exact pricing and packaging psychology that the top 1% of US shops use to maintain record-breaking profitability. The secret to breaking the cycle of the low-margin grind is the implementation of the high-ticket value multiplier, specifically through a strategy we call tiered value architecture. In the United States automotive market of 2026, the cost of parts has risen significantly due to supply chain complexities and the advanced materials used in modern vehicle frames. If you are still presenting your services as a list of itemized parts and labor hours, you are forcing the customer to evaluate your worth based on a math equation they do not understand and likely do not trust. To change the game, you must shift from selling repairs to selling outcomes. Historical trends in consumer psychology show that when a person is presented with a single price for a complex problem, their brain immediately seeks a way to reduce that price. However, when presented with the choice of 3 distinct tiers of value, the psychological focus shifts from whether they should do the repair to which version of the repair best fits their long-term goals. Consider a case study involving a customer named Robert in Columbus, Ohio. Robert drives a 2019 hybrid crossover that has just surpassed the 100,000-mile mark. He comes in for what he thinks is a simple noise in the suspension, but your digital vehicle inspection reveals that he actually needs a comprehensive cooling system service, new struts, and a high-voltage battery health optimization. In a traditional shop, the service advisor would hand Robert a quote for $4,000. Robert's immediate reaction would be sticker shock, followed by a request to do only the most urgent item. This is a lose-lose situation. The shop loses the high-ticket revenue, and Robert leaves with a vehicle that is still statistically likely to break down in the next 6 months. Under the tiered value architecture, your service advisor presents 3 options. The first tier is the essential safety restoration. This covers only the immediate safety concerns, providing the potential outcome of a vehicle that is legal and safe to drive today, but acknowledging that future maintenance is deferred. The second tier is the vehicle longevity package. This includes the safety repairs plus the preventative cooling system service. The third tier is the Total Peace of Mind Masterclass, which adds the battery optimization and a 2-year roadside assistance membership. Historical trends show that 60% of American consumers will choose the middle option, while 20% will opt for the premium tier simply because they value their time and vehicle reliability above all else. By offering these choices, you have moved the conversation away from the price of a strut and toward the future of Robert's mobility. The step-by-step detail for building these tiers starts with a process called psychological anchoring. In 2026, you should lead with your highest value package first. When you start with the Total Peace of Mind package at $5,000, it sets a high anchor in the customer's mind. When they see the middle option at $3,800, it feels like a significant value. If you start with the cheapest price and try to upsell, every additional dollar feels like a penalty to the customer. This is a fundamental shift in how you present your expertise. You are marketing your shop as a consultant that provides a spectrum of solutions, rather than a technician who just wants to sell a part. Furthermore, we must address the 2026 trend of subscription-based maintenance. Imagine if Robert didn't have to face a $4,000 bill at all. The most forward-thinking shops in the US are now marketing what they call the Lifetime Care Membership. This is a step-by-step detail that involves a monthly fee, perhaps $49, that covers all oil changes, tire rotations, and annual safety inspections, while providing a fixed discount on any major repairs. The marketing secret here is the creation of a closed loop. Once Robert is a member of your shop, he is statistically 85% more likely to return to you for every single repair. You are essentially pre-marketing your future services. Case studies of shops in the Pacific Northwest that implemented this model saw their predictable monthly revenue cover their entire shop rent and utility costs before they even opened the doors on the first of the month. To truly multiply your value, you must also master the language of the asset management conversation. In 2026, a car is not just a tool. For many Americans, it is the second most expensive asset they own after their home. Your marketing should reflect this. Instead of saying you are fixing a leak, you should say you are protecting the integrity of the engine's thermal management system. Instead of talking about a brake job, talk about a stopping distance restoration. This elevated vocabulary reinforces the clinical authority framework we discussed earlier. It signals to the customer that they are paying for a higher level of precision and care. When the customer perceives the service as high-tech and specialized, the price becomes secondary to the result. Another critical component of the high-ticket value multiplier is the integration of flexible payment solutions. While we do not provide financial advice, historical trends in the US show that shops offering integrated, transparent payment plans for major repairs see a significant increase in the approval rate for high-ticket items. In 2026, the American consumer is accustomed to buy now pay later models for everything from groceries to electronics. If your marketing doesn't mention that you offer ways to bridge the gap between a necessary repair and a tight monthly budget, you are creating an unnecessary barrier to entry. This is not about the finance itself. It is about the marketing of accessibility. You are telling your community that you understand their reality and have a system in place to help them keep their lives moving. The potential outcomes of this fifth secret are transformative. You will find that your average repair order increases because you are no longer competing with the budget shop down the street. You are competing with the dealership, but you are winning because you offer more transparency, better communication, and more flexible options. You are building a business that is resilient to economic fluctuations because you have a loyal base of members and a proven system for presenting high-value solutions. You have moved from being a technician to being a business strategist who happens to run an auto repair shop. But there is a catch. All of these marketing secrets, the hyper-optimized map pack, the clinical environment, the predictive data, the authority engine, and the tiered pricing require a team that can actually deliver on the brand promise. If your internal culture doesn't match your external marketing, your business will eventually collapse under the weight of its own reputation. The bridge between a great marketing plan and a successful shop is the people inside the bays. In the next part, we are going to explore the invisible operations secret. We will look at how the top shops in the country are solving the technician shortage by marketing to their employees just as aggressively as they market to their customers. We are going to show you how to build a shop culture that becomes a local legend, making your business the only place where the best technicians want to work and the only place where customers feel the energy of a truly professional team. This is the secret that turns a profitable shop into a legacy brand. To understand how cultural magnetism functions as the ultimate marketing secret in 2026, We have to recognize that your staff is the living embodiment of your brand. In the United States, the technician shortage has reached a critical tipping point where the ability to produce work is more valuable than the ability to find work. If your marketing is successful but your execution is flawed because of a disengaged or understaffed team, you are effectively paying to advertise your own incompetence. This fifth secret is the internal marketing revolution. It is the process of marketing your business to your current and future employees with the same intensity that you market to your customers. Historical trends show that shops with high employee engagement scores see a 25% increase in customer loyalty and a significant boost in the average repair order. This is because a technician who feels valued will find the small, critical details during a digital vehicle inspection that a burnt-out technician will intentionally ignore. Imagine a master technician named Alex who lives in a competitive market like Charlotte, North Carolina. Alex has 15 years of experience, a full set of tools, and a deep knowledge of European electrical systems. In 2026, Alex is not looking for a job on a traditional board. He is being recruited by everyone. He is looking for a home. Now imagine Alex is scrolling through social media and sees a video from your shop. It is not an ad for a break special. It is a behind-the-scenes look at your shop's weekly technical roundtable. He sees your team gathered around a high-end oscilloscope, debating a complex diagnostic case while eating a high-quality catered lunch. He sees a clean, climate-controlled bay with state-of-the-art lifts. He hears you, the owner, talking about the $5,000 annual training budget you provide for every team member. You have just marketed your shop to the most valuable asset in the industry. The potential outcomes of this strategy go far beyond recruitment. When you market your culture, you are also marketing to the high-value customer. In 2026, the American consumer is more socially conscious than ever. They want to do business with companies that treat their people well. When a customer like Jennifer, whom we discussed earlier, walks into a shop where the energy is positive, the technicians are smiling, and the service advisors are not stressed, she feels a sense of safety. This is a psychological trigger called emotional contagion. If your team is happy, Jennifer believes her car will be treated with care. If your team is miserable, Jennifer fears that corners will be cut. This is why your internal culture is actually your most potent external marketing asset. The step-by-step detail for implementing the internal marketing revolution starts with the creation of an employee value proposition, or EVP. You must treat your job openings like a product launch. This means you do not just post a list of requirements. You create a landing page on your website specifically for careers that features high-definition video testimonials from your current team. You highlight the career path, not just the job description. In 2026, a top-tier technician wants to know where they will be in 5 years. Are you training them to be a shop foreman? Are you helping them specialize in electric vehicle high-voltage systems? By marketing the future, you attract the most forward-thinking talent. Case studies from the most profitable independent shops in the Midwest show that a documented culture code is the foundation of this success. One shop in Indianapolis created a 10-point manifesto that they printed on the walls of the break room and included in every marketing packet sent to new neighbors. Points included phrases like "We provide solutions, not just parts, and the technician is the heart of the business." By making these values public, they held themselves accountable. The result was a waiting list of technicians wanting to join the team, and a customer base that felt like they were part of a local institution, rather than just a repair garage. This is the difference between a shop that is a commodity and a shop that is a legacy brand. Furthermore, we must address the 2026 trend of the visible shop. Modern marketing involves pulling back the curtain. You should be using your authority engine to showcase your team's expertise. Feature a different technician every month in a short video. Let them explain a complex tool they use or a difficult repair they completed. This does two things. It gives the technician a sense of pride and professional recognition, and it shows the customer the level of brainpower required to maintain their modern vehicle. Historical trends indicate that when a customer knows the name and face of the person working on their car, the likelihood of a dispute over price drops by nearly 50%. You are humanizing the steel and glass of the automotive world. Another critical step-by-step detail is the implementation of a peer-to-peer recognition system. In 2026, the best shops use digital platforms where technicians can give each other shout-outs for helping with a tough diagnostic or keeping the shop clean. You then take these internal wins and share them on your public-facing social media. For example, a post might say, "Huge shout-out to Mike for staying late to help a single mother get her car back on the road for work tomorrow." This is marketing gold. You aren't bragging about your prices. You are bragging about the character of your people. In a world of automated bots and corporate giants, this level of authentic humanity is what wins the hearts of the US public. We also have to consider the physical marketing of the workspace. If you are inviting customers to see your clinical environment, your back of house must match. In 2026, the most successful shops are investing in professional-grade cabinetry, uniform flooring, and dedicated tech support stations. This is not just for efficiency, it is a marketing statement. It says that we respect the craft of auto repair. When a customer catches a glimpse of the shop through the window, they should see a space that looks more like a high-tech laboratory than a greasy garage. This visual consistency reinforces the high-ticket value multiplier. It justifies your labor rate and your premium parts because the environment suggests a premium result. The final layer of the internal marketing revolution is the feedback loop. Just as you solicit reviews from customers, you must solicit reviews from your team. In 2026, anonymous internal surveys are the radar system for your business. They allow you to catch cultural drift before it leads to turnover. A shop with high turnover is a shop with inconsistent marketing. Every time a service advisor leaves, they take years of customer relationships with them. Every time a technician leaves, the quality of your DVIs fluctuates. Stability is the silent partner of marketing. By investing in your people, you are securing the long-term ROI of every other marketing dollar you spend. As we look at the potential outcomes of mastering these 5 secrets: hyperlocal map pack dominance, clinical authority environments, predictive data influence, the authority engine of video, and the internal marketing revolution, you begin to see the outline of a modern local monopoly. You are no longer just another shop in the city. You are the only logical choice for a high-value customer. But there is a danger in this success. As your shop grows and your bays fill up, you will face the challenge of scaling without losing the soul of the business. How do you maintain this level of marketing excellence when you have 2, 3, or 5 locations? How do you ensure that the marketing message doesn't get diluted as it moves away from your personal oversight? This leads us to the next phase of our masterclass, the automation and scaling blueprint. We are going to dive into the specific AI tools and software integrations of 2026 that allow you to put your marketing on autopilot without losing that critical human touch. Prepare to see how the most successful shop owners in the country are working on their business rather than in it, and how you can do the same. The transition from a single successful bay to a multi-location powerhouse in 2026 depends entirely on your ability to automate the human touch. This is the automation and scaling blueprint. To understand why this is a marketing secret rather than just an operational one, you have to look at the math of human error. Historical trends in the US auto repair industry show that as a shop grows, the quality of customer communication typically plateaus or declines. The service advisor who was once charming and attentive becomes overwhelmed by 30 cars a day, and the personalized follow-up that built your reputation starts to slip. By the time you reach 3 locations, the brand identity you worked so hard to build becomes diluted. Scaling is not about doing more work. It is about building a machine that does the work for you with surgical precision. Imagine a shop owner named Thomas who operates 3 high-performance repair centers in the Chicago suburbs. In 2024, Thomas was working 80 hours a week, physically driving between Naperville and Joliet, just to ensure his service advisors were following the clinical authority framework. He was the bottleneck. In 2026, Thomas implemented an AI-driven conversational marketing stack. This isn't a basic chatbot that frustrates users. It is a sophisticated natural language processing engine trained specifically on automotive repair data. When a customer named Maria hits Thomas's website at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday night because her car is making a whistling sound, the AI does not just tell her to call back tomorrow. It asks her to describe the sound, identifies it as a potential vacuum leak or a failing belt, checks the real-time technician schedule across all 3 locations, and offers her a 10:30 a.m. appointment the next day. The potential outcome for Thomas was a 60% increase in after-hours lead conversion, without hiring a single additional staff member. The step-by-step detail for implementing this begins with the integration of your shop management software and an API-first marketing platform. In 2026, your marketing cannot exist in a vacuum. It must be able to read your shop's actual capacity. If your Naperville location is booked out for 2 weeks but your Aurora location has an empty bay tomorrow, your automated marketing should pivot. You can run hyperlocal, automated ads on social media that only target people within a 5-mile radius of the Aurora shop, offering a specific incentive for a next-day diagnostic. This is called dynamic capacity marketing. You are using data to fill the gaps in your production line in real time. Historical trends suggest that shops using dynamic capacity tools maintain a 95% bay utilization rate, compared to the industry average of 70%. Furthermore, we must address the automation of the authority engine. We discussed in Part 5 how becoming a local celebrity technician is a game changer. But you cannot spend all day editing videos. The scaling secret in 2026 is the use of AI video repurposing. You film one 10-minute deep dive on a complex repair, let us say a hybrid cooling system failure, and an AI tool automatically identifies the high-stakes moments, the shocking statistics, and the controversial statements. It then cuts that one video into 20 different vertical shorts, reels, and TikToks, each optimized for the specific algorithm of that platform. It generates the captions, the localized hashtags, and even schedules them to post during the peak hours for your specific zip code. This allows you to maintain the invisible community influence at scale, while you focus on high-level strategy. Case studies from multi-shop operations in the Southwest show that this level of content automation leads to a massive reduction in customer acquisition costs. Instead of paying $5 per click on a search ad, these shops are generating millions of local impressions for the cost of a single long-form video. The data shows that by 2026, organic video content has a 400% higher trust rating than paid search results. By automating the distribution, you are effectively colonizing the digital landscape of your city. You are everywhere at once, but you only did the work once. Another critical component of the scaling blueprint is the automated reputation guard. When you have multiple locations, a single bad review at one shop can infect the reputation of the entire brand. Scaling requires an automated system that monitors every mention of your business across the web in real time. In 2026, if a customer leaves a 3-star review at the Joliet location, an automated workflow should immediately alert the regional manager and simultaneously send a personalized video from Thomas to the customer. This video, created using a high-quality digital double of Thomas, acknowledges the specific issue and offers a direct line of communication to resolve it. This is the intersection of high-tech and high-touch. It makes the customer feel like the owner of the company personally cares about their experience, even when the company has grown beyond the owner's physical reach. We also have to look at the predictive maintenance engine at scale. When you have a database of 10,000 customers across multiple locations, manual follow-up is impossible. The scaling secret is the implementation of a machine learning model that analyzes the service history of every vehicle in your system. This model predicts not just when a car needs an oil change, but when a specific make and model is likely to experience a known component failure based on its mileage and local weather patterns. For Thomas's shops in Chicago, the system knows that after a heavy salt season, certain vehicles are at high risk for brake line corrosion. It automatically sends a personalized video report to those specific owners, showing them what to look for. This isn't a generic mailer. It is a personalized health alert for their specific car. The potential outcomes include a dramatic increase in preventative maintenance approvals and a customer base that feels protected rather than sold to. But scaling also requires a standard of excellence in the physical world. How do you ensure that the clinical authority framework is being followed in a shop you haven't visited in a month? The secret is digital operations marketing. You use high-definition cameras and AI vision software to monitor the cleanliness of the bays and the professional appearance of the staff. If a bay remains cluttered for more than an hour, the system sends an automated nudge to the shop foreman. This might sound like micromanagement, but from a marketing perspective, it is brand protection. You are ensuring that every customer who walks into any of your locations gets the exact same high-value experience that they saw in your videos. As we look at the data for 2026, it is clear that the independent shops that are being acquired by private equity firms for record-breaking multiples are the ones that have mastered this automation. They are not just shops. They are technology companies that happen to fix cars. They have a predictable, scalable way to find customers, a standardized way to inspect vehicles, and an automated way to keep those customers for life. Thomas went from a stressed-out owner to a strategic CEO because he stopped trying to be the hero in every story and started building a system of heroes. However, even with the most advanced AI and the most efficient systems, there is one thing that can destroy your growth faster than anything else. It is a mistake that nearly every shop owner makes when they finally start seeing significant profit. It involves the way you handle your marketing budget during an economic shift. In the next part, we are going to dive into the secret of the recession-proof budget. We will examine historical trends from the last 3 major U.S. economic downturns to show you exactly where to put your money when everyone else is pulling back. We are going to talk about the concept of countercyclical dominance and how a specific type of high-stakes messaging can make you the only shop that thrives when the local economy stumbles. Prepare to learn how to turn a market contraction into your greatest opportunity for expansion. The fifth and final marketing secret is the strategy of countercyclical dominance. To understand the gravity of this, we have to look at the historical trends of the American economy over the last 2 decades. Whenever there is a whisper of a recession or an inflationary spike, the immediate knee-jerk reaction of the average small business owner is to slash the marketing budget. They view advertising as a luxury rather than an essential utility. This is a fatal mistake that leaves a massive vacuum in the marketplace. In 2026, the economic landscape is defined by the high cost of new vehicle acquisition and elevated interest rates. This has created what economists call the replacement gap. People are no longer trading in their cars every 3 years because a new monthly payment is often double what it was 5 years ago. This is your greatest opportunity for expansion, but only if you know how to market to the anxiety of a tightening wallet. Consider the case study of a shop called Riverside Automotive in a suburb of Riverside, California. In the fall of 2025, when the local manufacturing sector saw a temporary downturn, most independent shops in the area pulled their search ads and stopped their community outreach to save cash. Riverside Automotive did the exact opposite. They increased their ad spend by 30%. But they didn't just run more of the same ads. They shifted their messaging to a framework we call asset preservation marketing. Instead of marketing performance or speed, they began marketing the 3-year survival plan. They spoke directly to the fear of a surprise $3,000 repair bill. Their potential outcome was a record-breaking year while 3 of their closest competitors were forced to consolidate or close. They didn't just survive the downturn. They used it as a lever to catapult themselves into the #1 spot in their county. Imagine if a customer named James is sitting at his kitchen table in 2026, looking at his bank account and then looking at his 2017 sedan in the driveway. He knows the car needs work. He hears a shimmy at highway speeds and the air conditioning is starting to hum. In a stable economy, James might just go to a dealership and look at a new model. In a contraction, James is terrified of a new car payment. He is looking for a way to make his current asset last another 48 months. If your marketing is still talking about high-performance tuning or generic oil changes, you are missing James entirely. But if your marketing features a video of you explaining the total cost of ownership and how a $1,000 preventative investment today prevents a $6,000 engine replacement next year, you have become James's financial hero. You are no longer just a mechanic, you are his asset manager. The step-by-step detail for implementing countercyclical dominance begins with the longevity audit lead magnet. In 2026, you should be offering a specific low-friction entry point called the 200,000-mile roadmap. This is a specialized inspection that is marketed not as a repair, but as a consultative report on the vehicle's viability for the next 3 years. You are selling the answer to the question, is this car worth keeping? By providing a detailed, clinical report that outlines the upcoming needs over a 36-month horizon, you give James the ability to budget. You remove the element of surprise, which is the primary source of automotive anxiety in a recession. Historical trends show that shops offering these roadmap consultations have a 70% higher conversion rate on high-ticket repairs because the customer feels they are making a planned investment rather than reacting to a catastrophe. Furthermore, we must address the concept of digital arbitrage during a downturn. When your competitors stop bidding on keywords like auto repair near me or brake service, the cost per click on platforms like Google and Meta drops significantly. This is the moment to colonize the search results. While everyone else is hiding, your authority engine should be louder than ever. You should be flooding the local market with educational content that emphasizes value, reliability, and the local roots of your business. In 2026, the American public has a renewed interest in supporting local businesses that support the community. Your marketing should lean heavily into your shop's history, your involvement in local charities, and your commitment to keeping the neighborhood on the road. This is the invisible community influence scaled for a crisis. Another critical component of this fifth secret is the second opinion strategy. During economic shifts, customers who traditionally went to the dealership start looking for alternatives to save money. However, they are afraid of losing the perceived quality of the dealer. Your marketing must target these dealership defectors. Use ads that specifically mention, "Tired of dealer prices? Get a clinical second opinion." When they arrive, you use the clinical authority framework and the digital vehicle inspection to show them exactly where the dealer was overcharging and where you provide superior value. Case studies show that once a dealership customer makes the switch to a high-end independent shop during a recession, they rarely go back when the economy recovers. You are acquiring the highest value customers in your market at a fraction of the usual cost. To execute this at a deep dive level, you need to master the messaging of the middle class squeeze. In 2026, the middle class is the most sensitive to car repair costs. Your marketing should focus on predictable fixed costs. This is where the membership model we discussed in Part 6 becomes your most powerful recession-proofing tool. Marketing a subscription that covers the basics and provides peace of mind is an easier sell when people are worried about their monthly cash flow. You are offering them a way to lock in their car care costs, making you the most stable variable in their financial life. The potential outcomes include a base of recurring revenue that remains steady, even when the general market is volatile. We also have to consider the psychology of the panic searcher. When a car breaks down during a recession, it isn't just an inconvenience. It is a threat to the customer's livelihood. Your marketing must be positioned as the solution to that threat. This means your response times must be instantaneous. Use automated AI tools to ensure that if a customer messages you at 2 in the morning, they get a reassuring response and an appointment link immediately. You are marketing the elimination of panic. In 2026, the shop that responds the fastest wins the job, especially when the stakes are high. As we move toward the final conclusion of this masterclass, it is essential to realize that these 5 secrets are not independent silos. They are a singular, integrated machine. The hyper-optimized map pack brings them to the door, the clinical environment builds the trust, the predictive data keeps them coming back, the authority engine makes you a local legend, and the countercyclical budget ensures you grow while others shrink. Most shop owners will watch this and only implement 1 or 2 things. But the top 1%, the shops that define their markets and build multi-generational wealth, are the ones that will integrate all 5 into a seamless operation. But there is one final high-stakes question. How do you tie all of this together into a single cohesive launch plan? How do you take these 10,000 words of strategy and turn them into a day 1 action list? There is a specific sequence to this rollout that prevents you from becoming overwhelmed and ensures that your cash flow supports your growth at every step. In the final part of this series, we are going to provide the 90-day execution blueprint. We will show you exactly what to do in Week 1, Week 4, and Week 12 to ensure that by the end of the quarter, your shop is fundamentally transformed. We are going to reveal the master key that unlocks the true power of these 5 secrets, ensuring that your business becomes a dominant force in the 2026 automotive landscape. Prepare for the final integration, where we turn knowledge into an unstoppable momentum. This is the 90-day execution blueprint, a high-stakes roadmap designed to integrate these 5 marketing secrets into a singular, unstoppable force. We are moving from theory into the tactical reality of your shop floor. To achieve the potential outcomes we have discussed, you must understand that this is not a buffet where you pick and choose. This is a chemical reaction. If you leave out one ingredient, the entire process fails to reach its full potency. In the U.S. automotive landscape of 2026, the speed of implementation is your greatest competitive advantage. We are going to break this down into 3 30-day sprints, providing step-by-step details for every week. Weeks 1 through 4 are dedicated to the digital and physical foundation. You begin on day 1 with the digital forensics audit of your local map pack presence. Historical trends show that shops that update their business attributes and add at least 10 new high-definition photos of their actual work environment see an immediate uptick in search impressions within 14 days. You must log into your profile and search for the specific 2026 service categories, like advanced driver assistance systems calibration and electric vehicle battery thermal management. If you are not checking these boxes, you are invisible to the highest-paying customers in your city. Simultaneously, you begin the sensory audit of your physical space. This is not a suggestion. It is a requirement for the clinical authority framework. You replace every flickering yellow light with 5,000 Kelvin daylight-balanced LED panels. You remove the old, stained chairs and the high-top counter that acts as a barrier. By the end of Week 4, your shop should look and smell like a high-tech laboratory. Imagine if a first-time customer like Marcus walks in and his first thought is not, "I hope I do not get ripped off, but wow, this place is more professional than my doctor's office." That is the moment you have won. Weeks 5 through 8 focus on the authority engine and the database goldmine. This is where you transition from being a passive business to an active media entity. You begin by filming your first 3 truth teller videos. You do not need a studio. You need a smartphone, a stabilizer, and a $50 lapel microphone. Your first video should address the most common technical anxiety in your local area, such as why the extreme heat in Arizona or the road salt in Michigan is currently destroying a specific vehicle component. You post these videos directly to your Google profile and your local community groups. At the same time, you launch your first database reactivation campaign. You do not send a generic coupon. You use the predictive data in your shop management software to identify customers like Brian, whose vehicles are approaching a critical mileage milestone. You send a personalized, value-driven text message offering a high-level health consultation. Historical trends indicate that a well-timed, data-backed message can generate a 30% response rate, filling your bays with high-margin diagnostic work without spending a cent on new ads. Weeks 9 through 12 are about the pricing architecture and the cultural magnetism that secures your long-term scaling. You implement the tiered value architecture across your entire service team. This requires a step-by-step training process for your service advisors. They must move away from the itemized parts list and toward the essential longevity and peace of mind packages. You practice the asset management conversation until it becomes second nature. This is also when you launch your internal recruitment marketing. You create your employee value proposition landing page, featuring the technical roundtable videos and the clean, organized bays you established in the first month. You are now marketing to the best technicians in your state, ensuring that as your marketing brings in more cars, you have the elite talent to handle the volume. By the end of week 12, you are no longer running a shop. You are commanding a local monopoly. To see how this looks in a real-world scenario, consider the case study of a shop in suburban Pennsylvania that was facing a 20% decline in car count due to a new dealership opening nearby. In 2025, they committed to this 90-day blueprint. In the first month, they optimized their local search to focus on European car diagnostics, which the dealership was notoriously slow at handling. In the second month, they released a series of videos showing their master technician using a modern oscilloscope to find electrical ghosts that other shops missed. In the third month, they moved all their customers to a membership model. The result? They increased their average repair order from $500 to nearly $900, and their customer retention rate hit an all-time high of 85%. They didn't just survive the dealership's arrival. They became the premium alternative that the high-value customers preferred. As we look at the data for the remainder of 2026, the gap between the shops that use these secrets and the shops that rely on traditional hope-based marketing is widening. The potential outcomes for those who remain stagnant are grim, as the complexity of vehicles and the cost of customer acquisition continue to rise. However, for the shop owner who embraces the role of a data scientist and an authority figure, the future has never been brighter. You are building an asset that is recession-proof, technician-friendly, and highly profitable. You are moving from the grease-stained past of the industry into its high-tech, clinical future. But what happens after the 90 days? How do you maintain this momentum when the next technological shift occurs? We have talked about 2026, but the transition to full vehicle autonomy and the integration of artificial intelligence into the repair process itself is the next massive wave. If you think the current changes are fast, you haven't seen anything yet. The marketing secrets we have discussed today are the foundation, but there is a hidden level of strategy that involves owning the entire data lifecycle of the vehicle, from the moment it leaves the factory to the moment it is recycled. This involves a partnership model that most independent shop owners haven't even considered. We have now completed this deep dive masterclass, and you have the tools to transform your auto repair business into a dominant US brand. But the information is useless without the execution. Your next step is to go back to part 1, grab a notepad, and start your digital forensics audit today. The market is waiting for a leader in your zip code. It might as well be you. If you are ready to take this even further and learn how to position your shop for the 2030 shift toward total mobility management, stay tuned for our upcoming deep dive into the post-internal combustion engine marketing era. We are going to show you how to market to a customer whose car drives itself to your shop while they are at work. The future is coming for your bays. Make sure you are the one holding the keys. Would you like me to develop the specific 90-day execution checklist for your service advisors and technicians to ensure they are aligned with this new blueprint?